I want you to think back to the last time you actually had fun playing a Call of Duty game. For me, it was Black Ops 3, and for you, I'm sure it was also the same game or a Call of Duty that was made before Black Ops 3. The point is, the modern Call of Duty games suck puckering butthole and were made by people who are dumber than spit. And Activision, being the terrible company they are, have decided to rain on everybody's parade and just throw the word fun out the window. As a matter of fact, if you have a dictionary, go ahead and grab that and rip the word fun out, chew it up, swallow it, whatever you have to do, get rid of it, flush it down the toilet, because that's going to no longer be part of your vocabulary. Because what Activision has done over the past week is they're shutting down everybody's access to play their old games that are actually fun because they just don't care about their fan base. It started off by sending SM2 a cease and desist letter, so they shut that project down. And just in case you don't know what SM2 is, they were taking all the good things from like the Modern Warfare games and combining them into one massive game. Kind of like Call of Duty Online that they had overseas in like China a while ago. And it was going to be a good time. It was looking great. They were developing it for years. And then all of a sudden, Activision says, here, I'm going to flop my cock on the table and ruin it all. And that was on May 17th. And then on May 22nd, which is today, they sent a cease and desist to XLabs, which XLabs is a client that allowed you to play Call of Duty games such as Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops 3 and a couple of others without having your computer absolutely ransacked with malware. Because if you don't know, the reason that these projects exist in the first place is one, because the modern Call of Duty games suck, as I previously mentioned. They were made by brain-dead chimpanzees. And also, if you attempt to play the old Call of Duty games just through like Activision servers, you will most definitely get your computer infected with very vicious malware. So a community of people who actually care about these games, unlike the corporation that actually made them and threw them out back in the dumpster and left them to rot, the community decided to make these projects like XLabs and Plutonium to keep the games living, to not let them die out because of all the cherished memories and how many people adore and love these games. And they still hold up to this day. They're far more enjoyable than any modern Call of Duty game by just absolute leagues. I have many great memories on these clients playing the games, and it's not like it was illegal to do this. It wasn't pirating the games. You still had to purchase the game. These clients just let you not have your computer explode and be infected with porn pop-ups every time you click on the screen. It was just a good way to enjoy good games until Activision decided to just pull an Eric Cartman and just go stand up on everybody's desk and just shit on it. And there is the argument to be had that Activision does own the rights to these games, which they absolutely do. It's their games, they own them, but they don't care about the games. They could give a rat's ass about what happens to these games. The community are the only people who care about these games, and they're the ones that actually play it. Activision has more than enough money than they're ever going to have use for, so it's not a money issue, it's just them being absolute idiots. And even if it was a money issue, who cares? They're like a $70 billion corporation. I think they'll survive. But this just truly shows that they don't have an ounce of respect throughout their entire company for their fan base. They don't care about anything besides making money. But as of me making this video, only SM2 and XLabs have received the cease and desist. And it's not looking good for Plutonium, which is the one that Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1 runs through. It's the client for that. So right now, those are the only two Call of Duties you can safely play online on servers without risking it all. The craziest part to me is that Activision is taking down all these fan-made, community-loved things when they're not even putting any effort into these games at all. They clearly show that they do not care about these games anymore, yet they're shutting down all of these things that actually do care about their games and are helping their games stay alive. They're literally just killing their own games by doing this. It makes no sense at all. And on top of them killing their games, they're just making their community hate them even more for being a terrible company. So now the only one left standing, like I said, is Plutonium. It's like that episode of SpongeBob where Sandy's chasing Patrick and SpongeBob, and she saddles Patrick and pulls him back. It's only a matter of time until she makes it to SpongeBob, which is Plutonium. And I can imagine that by the end of this month, most likely, Plutonium will also receive a cease and desist, and Activision will cement itself as one of the worst companies in the world. And then they're going to pump out another shitty little Call of Duty game that I'm not going to purchase. I haven't bought a Call of Duty game since, like, I don't know, what was the one after Infinite Warfare? I just honestly haven't cared about Call of Duty since Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 was the last good Call of Duty in my opinion, and it peaked around Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 2. It's just never been good since then, and they just keep going downhill. They're shooting themselves in the foot constantly. But that's pretty much it. I just wanted to go over this news, show you these 2 tweets from the projects that got cease and desist, because it really did sour my day. It made my milk taste bad this morning. I didn't feel like a big boy drinking that, and then I was outside, and the sun didn't feel quite as warm. Honestly, it put me in a bad space today. I haven't had fun. I couldn't have fun today. All because Activision is a shitty little company that makes bad decisions more often than I breathe air.